Alright guys, welcome to a Sephora haul, vlog style, reviews, everything. We're going to go through all of these products. I have worn everything at least 3 times before reviewing this for you, except for this one size in Cali Ray complexion product. But we've got the Patrick Ta lip glosses, melt, eyeliners, KVD concealer, LYS, all of these complexion products that have come out recently, the Say powder, and this lip kit. We're going to talk about the NARS and the Lawless. We love the sugar. We don't have to talk about that one really, and I'm scared to try the Too Faced, so we're not going to talk about that. And the Rose Ink, I think the color is just not for me, so I'm not gonna test it out or anything or put it on my lips. I can probably either give it away or share it with someone else, but keep watching if you want to see all of these products reviewed. All right guys, so today's foundation is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. Mine is in the shade Deauville. I really like this. I didn't set it with any powder, so while it says light reflecting, you expect something dewy. It's really not that dewy. It's actually a very natural skin finish, and as the day goes on, I will probably get a little bit of glow here, like in the T-zone, but it lasts really beautifully. It's very, like, as smoothing as kind of a glowy foundation can be. I would say it's definitely that. Okay, so I also picked up the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in Pinky Brown. I have Honey Beige and Sandy Beige. I use Honey Beige the most. Sandy Beige ends up being a little too dark for like an everyday lip. But I wanted to apply this on camera so you guys could see. So this is kind of like what's been missing in my collection as far as this formula goes. Because I have like the nude beige type colors, but I'm kind of missing this kind of pink shade. The wear time here is amazing. Okay, so we've got 3 of the Patrick Ta glosses I picked up. This one is in the shade Superficial. It's the light kind of beigey tone pink. If any of you guys have these, let me know what you think the smell reminds you of, because the second I put it on, there was this nostalgia. It has like a cinnamony vibe for sure, but it reminds me of, this is gonna be very specific to me, there is a craft store in my area. I don't think it's no longer. It's called Packatans, and they would have it was like one of the biggest craft floral. They also did like wedding stuff. It smells like when I walk into that store, and I was just like, the second I put this gloss on the first time, I was like, the nostalgia was so immense. I was like, I remember walking like right into this store, which is kind of crazy. But these glosses, they say plumping, and you expect that stinging, right? But I don't get any stinging. It's cooling. I don't necessarily think there's any plumping per se, but the cooling / mild sting if you're sensitive. I'm not sensitive on the lips, but I really like it. I have two other ones that I'll show you as we move on, but love it. So the 4th new item to share with you is the Cali Ray Surf Proof Easy Glider Eye Definer. This is in the shade The Deep. It's promoted as a navy, but it's definitely a kind of a teal navy. That's what it looks like. This is my 3rd time wearing it, and I'm kind of still iffy about it. We'll see how it goes. It is incredibly smooth going on. I have it in the waterline, and I have it in the upper waterline also. I really like the color. I like the formula. It says long wearing waterproof, but I haven't found that it's super long wearing, so today we'll pay more attention to it. Again, 3rd time wearing it. If you're unfamiliar, Cali Ray is actually brought to us by Wendy from Urban Decay. She's the founder of Urban Decay. So she started this new brand called Cali Ray, and I have another item from this brand that I'm going to show you. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You went from, Urban Decay, it's marketed as kind of grungier, alternative, edgy, and then this one is kind of like bright and fun, this whole line, thus the name Cali Ray. So we'll see. I think overall the products that are in the lineup currently are getting good reviews, but time will tell, you know. I haven't really seen that many people review this brand in general. Okay, this is like part 2 of part 1. I just realized how wonky the lips were applied, but here is the makeup in different lighting. I still think it's a little washed out, but you know, so you can see a more natural skin look because I was a little too close to the window and that clip, so you can see my eye makeup better. You can see the finish on the skin, and it really does kind of remain in this situation, especially if you powder it. I haven't powdered it yet, but I probably will. I'll probably add a little powder under here to kind of prevent like the cheek products from shifting, and I smoothed out the lip situation. But yeah, so this is it in different lighting. Okay, 6 hours later, you can see we have kind of lost all the eyeliner on the waterline. If I want to keep this pencil as just like, you know, to smoke out or something, it's fine, but it definitely, I had it on the upper waterline too, and I feel like there's probably very little left there as well. Anyway, so it's post lunch and I touched up my lips, so I removed everything from before, and I have the Lawless Forget the Filler gloss in the shade Velvet. This is really, really pretty. It came in that kit that I showed you. I've worn this many times, and every time I like it. It's not dissimilar to the Patrick Ta. I think they have a very similar look on the lips. They're both these kind of, they look pigmented in the tube, but when you put them on, it's just like a tinted gloss. So it will kind of, I'm like, wow, we're even. It'll look more even. And this shade, Velvet, is like a pink. I wouldn't typically choose this if I was just looking at all the colors that they offer, but I really like this color on my lips. I think it's very complimentary. It's like a peachy pink on my lips after it's on. So yeah. The foundation, of course, still looks perfect and amazing. So I've worn off a little bit here, but I also had a situation there. It is flat now, but it did wear off there a little bit. All right, guys, let's continue with this makeup sharing. Let's not even pretend like I'm just trying to cover up all my gray hair. You can still see it, but you know, whatever. It's just better than not covering it up. Okay, so we'll start with the foundation, and we'll run through a whole bunch of other foundations that I'm not that into, which don't really require like a full-on review. The Cosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. Mine is in the shade 170. Really good match on me. I've worn this a ton. At least a week's worth of trying. I really, really love it. I am experiencing a lot of dryness and a lot of texture because of an allergic reaction. And I think it's now transitioned from the allergic reaction into eczema on the face, which I never really have. So I have a lot of texture on my skin right now, which the camera might hide, but not by a lot. This just smooths over so pretty on the face. I think you immediately will get medium coverage with a pump. I probably use a little less than a pump. I also am not a builder of foundation, so I never really tend to build complexion products for more coverage. If you tell me you're giving me a medium coverage foundation, that's what I expect with one layer. So I'm a big fan, even with like wearing a mask and stuff. I don't find that it transfers a lot. I think depending on your skin type, you might have to set it. Oily skin for sure. Combo, iffy, because it does glide over dry patches beautifully, but I also don't think it's gonna create this like pool of oil if you don't set it and you do have combo skin, you know what I mean? So I'm a big fan. If you love the concealer and you were looking forward to the foundation, I highly recommend the foundation. I think it's beautiful, and it does kind of have a little bit of a blurring action. Next, to set the face, is the Say powder, the loose air set. I have mine in the shade Translucent. Even though it says translucent, I still don't think that it is for every skin tone, because I find that when I use this powder to clean up my cheek area, you know, the area, you know, we have like a lot of cheek products and you're trying to like buff it out and clean it up. This does provide coverage and pigment. So I don't think that everyone is going to be able to fit into this. Luckily, they do have other shades, but I would say if you're beyond like tan, you might not be able to use this one, even though it says translucent. The next thing is, that was like a pro and a con. This has 4 grams of product. This is the main con. High-end drugstore. I'm saying in general with loose powders, you're getting 10 plus grams. 9 grams, 10 grams, 12. Some of them you get like 18, 20 grams of product. So 4 grams in here at this price point, not my fave. Now, do I really like this powder? Yes. My holy grail loose powder is the Kagendo. This is not dissimilar. I would say that while the Kagendo is extremely undetectable, I use it under my eyes all of the time. I add, and I love it. It's a beautiful, I wouldn't say setting powder, it's a beautiful finishing powder, but I don't care about the differentiation between those two descriptions necessarily. So while this is very similar to the Kagendo in those aspects, the added thing here is that it kind of mattifies and blurs your pores, so you can press it into your skin and it will kind of blur everything out. I'd use a puff or a dry sponge to do that. So like it. There's this thing going around that you get, like, you can see the shimmer and the glitter in the sunlight. I haven't really tested this out. If that is the case, I don't mind. So I should have started the clip with this. I do have the Huda Beauty Pinky Brown liner on my lips. So I'm going to show you this NARS Dolce Vita, which came in that kit I showed you. It's so pretty. I love this whole line. I have probably like 5, 6 of these at this point. I haven't found many colors that I dislike. There are some that are more sheer than others, but this one is beautiful. If you like a lip balm with tint, that is a good one. That's a good one. So let's see, we showed you the Patrick Ta Superficial earlier, this kind of beigey color. I'm gonna put this pinky one on. This is called 2ccs. Gorgeous. And then this one, this full syringe, this just kind of goes on and leaves a tint on your lips, a very light tint. It will give you a little bit of pigment, but these are the shades. I like all of them. Okay, let's talk about the KVD concealer. I have never, ever in my whole life experience of makeup tried so hard to find my shade in anything. I am not someone that tries that hard. If I can't find a shade match within like a space of shades that I think are gonna fit me, I usually just stop. I don't care anymore, you know what I mean? I might revisit it a year or two later. I started at 111, too light. 114, too light. Then went to 122. The depth seemed okay, but it was very pinky peach. So if you are someone that like wants that shade, almost like a corrector, 122 is the one for you. So I finally settled on 131. 131 is more of like a neutral warm, and 129 was just a warm golden undertone. So this worked the best. I do have under the eyes today. The reason I tried so hard with this concealer is because I really, really love the formula. I think it's really unique. It is a very thin, matte formula. That being said, most people have some situation either under their eyes or in the inner corner of their eyes, and I definitely have inner corner. So it does emphasize the lines a little bit. So I wore it on there on purpose so you could see. It's beautiful here, but it definitely shows my creases and dryness. I don't set it, and it is in fact matte in a way that even if you don't set it, you can't really tap out the creasing. So I typically will just wear this from here on out. I like this as a face concealer a lot. Again, the formula is very unique, and that is why I am keeping it. But I'm curious, maybe I'll try it as like a foundation in the summer. Right now, I would say Tarte Shape Tape, the original, is one of my favorite foundations for the summer because it is matte. It doesn't completely look flat on your face, so I love using that as foundation. So we'll try this out. So typically I would not wear this on the inner corner. I would probably have to prep the under eye. If you've tried that new Dream Lit wand from Pacifica, or even the Beauty Bio that I showed you earlier in the video, that stuff is really amazing. I highly recommend you try that out. It's not cheap, but if you are someone that struggles with under eyes and like wearing concealer and wearing makeup under there, that product is really amazing. So that's the review there. The Milk Cosmetics Waterline Eye Pencils, I have two of the more like nude skin tone shades. I have Olive and Caramel. Olive is very, very warm, almost like a goldenrod yellow. So if that is something that is more suitable to your face, your skin tone, your undertone, then I would recommend this to you. I enjoy Caramel, it has more of a peachiness to it. I have it in my waterline today, and it actually just kind of blends in and looks like nothing. And then whenever I have something darker in the upper waterline, it looks really pretty. So today I have like a brown liner in the upper waterline, and so when I blink and it kind of meshes together, it creates a very, very pretty look under there. Here's Olive and here's Caramel. So Olive didn't work out for me that well, but if you do have an olive skin tone, I think you would really enjoy that in your waterline. There are darker shades, like traditional, like a black, maybe a brown. I'm interested. They're very smooth, and the wear time on them is really good. Like, they don't fade super fast throughout the day, so I'm a fan of these. Okay, let's quickly talk about some other complexion products I've tried. The Rose Inc Skin Enhance is a serum skin tint with skincare properties. It is very, very similar to the Le Beige Water Fresh tint from Chanel. I prefer the Chanel. I use it a lot, clearly. I have medium light in the Chanel and number 30 in the Rose Inc. The Chanel is like a watery tint that has those little like capsules that burst with the pigment when you buff it into your skin. I think that it doesn't really show anything initially on your face, but once you have your whole face done, like you've put the product on your entire face, you look in the mirror once it's settled and it looks beautiful. The Rose Inc does have more pigment, but I feel like it never ever sets fully and stays stickier more so than the Chanel. And the coverage is more, but I also don't know that this shade is the best for me. It matches, but I feel like if I go to 40, it might be a little too dark. I didn't like the way products applied on top of the Rose Inc either. And when I set it with a powder, I still felt like I could feel the stickiness of it through the powder. The One Size and the Cali Ray, very similar reaction, I guess. The One Size, I really don't know why I keep trying stuff from this brand, honestly, because it's not, I'm not the demographic. It is for people who have maybe oily skin, maybe you want a lot more blurring, so you want more silicone in your products. This is a very moussey, whipped texture that feels highly silicone-y. If this was like a tinted primer, I think also it would definitely pass as that kind of product. This is just very drying on my skin and I did not like it. The Cali Ray, I got shade 2. I should probably try out shade 4. Also, it's one of those things you have to shake up and it's very liquidy. I want to say like years ago when stuff like this came out, a lot of it was very drying on people. So I might revisit shade 4 and I will try it closer probably into the summer. The LYS concealer, I really like this. The shade's just too dark. I got MG something, MG2. I need LN6, but that is consistently sold out. So I look forward to purchasing that shade during the Sephora sale, but I really enjoy this concealer. Under the eyes, particularly, and on the face, it's also pretty good. Okay, so that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. There was a ton of reviews, and I do know the Sephora sale is coming soon, so we will be doing a video for that. And if you kind of want to get a head start, I'll link my Pinterest boards below and you can just see everything I've tried from Sephora, things I'm considering, things I'm gonna try, things I would highly recommend, etc. So yeah, see you soon.